What is good, everybody? Welcome back to Internet Football, the YouTube channel where I talk about football on the internet. Today, we are going to be doing a quarterback tier ranking video, right? Everybody loves these tier rankings for the quarterbacks because we all agree. We are always in such unison on how these things end up shaking out. So, without further ado, let's get into it. All right, jumping right into this bad boy. As you can see here, I have 7 tiers set up. I have elite, great, good, average, we'll see, bad, and horrible. I think these kind of cover all of the bases from some of the guys that are going to pop up on this list. So, without further ado, number one on this list here, Russell Wilson. Okay. Started out hot with the Steelers last year once he got healthy, but really fell off a cliff towards the middle of the season and certainly at the end of the season. So, for now, I'm going to put him in the average category, right? I think, I could have renamed the average category into serviceable. I think you could definitely plug him in and play and win some football games, but he is well past the point to where he is going to be the sole reason that you win football games. I think you can win with him, but I don't think you're going to win because of him at this point in his career, right? I think that's a totally fair evaluation of him at this point. Next up, we have Matthew Stafford. And look, right away, I'm going to put him in the great category. The guy has been doing it for such a long time. Super Bowl champion. He is great. Him and the Rams got to figure out their contract situation going forward, but he's still a great player in this league without a doubt. Bryce Young. Now, Bryce Young up next here is an interesting one because, look, it looked like he was going to be a total bust, right? And then he got benched, got brought back, and now it looks like he's a pretty good quarterback. So I think for now, I think we got to put him in average, right? I think he's kind of, or maybe the we'll see. I'm going to actually go with the we'll see because, again, some of the stuff that he put on tape the first year, the first couple games of his second season was pretty bad. But when he got his, second chance there, he looked pretty good. But for now, I'm going to go with we'll see, right? I think that's pretty fair. Kirk Cousins, I think at this point, I don't know. Was he totally healthy last year? He did have some good games last year. I think people kind of forget that. But then again, he kind of fell off a cliff. Now, he did mention that he actually got injured in a game against the Saints, and he kind of blamed that on, where his play fell. So I'm going to actually put him in the we'll see category too. I'm not ready to totally call him bad or washed yet, but it's just kind of a situation where we got to see how it plays out. Aiden O'Connell, I think we're going to go ahead and go bad there. I think everybody can agree with that. Again, for Rudolph, not really much to say there. Patrick Mahomes had a horrible game in the Super Bowl, but he's still the best quarterback in the game today. Elite, obviously. Trevor Lawrence, this one is going to be probably polarizing. I think you either love or you hate him. I don't know. I think you got to kind of just put him. I wish there was somewhere between good and average, but I think for now you just gotta kind of have to put him in average, right? I mean, he definitely has not delivered on what he was, promised to do when he came in the league. But I think his best football is in front of him. But for now, I think average. That's where I have to go with it, right? Caleb Williams, we'll see. Not the greatest rookie season in the world, but also not the greatest situation around him. New coach, we'll see where he goes from here. Brock Purdy is a good quarterback. Not the greatest year last year, but he's a good quarterback, right? He's won a ton of games in his first few years. Mr. Irrelevant, he's relevant, right? Good quarterback he is. Lamar Jackson, right up there with Patrick Mahomes in the elite category. What can you say? Special player, hard to defend, can make plays with his arm, feet, multiple time MVP winner, elite quarterback. Derek Carr, listen, I'm going to put him in average, okay? And as a Saints fan that has been forced to watch this guy over the past couple of seasons, I don't ever want to watch him take another snap with the Saints. But with that being said, I think if you're a team who needs just a guy to plug and play right now, then he can be average for you, or he could be really bad. But we'll stick him in average. Justin Herbert, listen, I think I still have to put him in great. I know a lot of people like to rag on this guy, and he has kind of faltered in the playoffs in his career, but he's still a great quarterback. Just arm, unbelievable, talent level off the charts. Still a great quarterback, right? Josh Allen, right up there next to Lamar Jackson and Patrick Mahomes in the elite category, without a doubt in my mind. Yeah, no brainer there. Jane Daniels, I mean, I have no problem already putting this guy in the great category. After a phenomenal rookie season, he had one of the best rookie quarterback seasons we have ever seen in the game of football, and I don't see any situation in which he gets worse. So I'm putting him in the great category, right? With the potential to soon reach the elite status. Okay. Bo Nix, I think we've seen a lot from him last year, but I think we still have to put him in sort of I'll put him in the average category just for now, but certainly could grow out of that this year, right? By all standards, great rookie campaign from Bo Nix. I don't think anybody really expected that out of him. But yeah, good for Bo Nix. Tua, right? I'm gonna put him next to Purdy. I think they're similar players with similar strengths and weaknesses. Yeah. Okay, next up on the list, Joe Burrow. Easy one, elite. Need I say more? Cooper Rush. I mean, I should have a category in here for guys that, what's the point? But we're gonna go with bad for Cooper Rush. Joe Flacco. I mean, bad at this point, right? Spencer Rattler, I'm going to go with Will C. I think he showed a lot of promise on tape. I think he has a real chance to actually be the starter for the Saints next season. So for now, we're going to go with Will C. Sean Watson is horrific. Jalen Hurts, Super Bowl champion Jalen Hurts, that is. What do we put him in? Now, this is a super interesting one because it's tough because, yes, he is a Super Bowl champion, but wins are not a quarterback stat, right? And I think Jalen Hurts is a really solid NFL quarterback. Is he elite? No. Is he in that great category? I think he's somewhere in between good and great, but I think I have to put him in the, I'm going to put him in the great category. I think he's deserved that. I think especially his play in the final 2-3 games of the season was phenomenal, and I think it really pushed him into the next echelon of quarterbacks. Okay, Jordan Love is a good quarterback. Ups and downs, right? Gunslinger mentality, but that's just what you're going to get with a player like him with the traits that he has. He's a good quarterback. Drake May, look, we'll see. I'll put him in average, though, because I think he did show a lot in his rookie campaign. So we'll go with the we'll see, or we'll go with average for now, because I think he'll end up being a really, really good quarterback in the future. Mac Jones is horrible. Gardner Minshew, horrible. Dak Prescott, I think, is a good quarterback. I think probably his best days are behind him. He's ran into some injuries here in the past few years, but I think he's still a really good quarterback. Anthony Richardson, I think right now you have to put him in bad. I don't think he's shown anything on tape that can say that he's going to be the franchise quarterback that the Colts has hoped that he would be. So yeah, I think right now bad. I hope he proves me wrong though. Okay, Jared Goff is a good quarterback. Some might argue you put him in the great category, but I think when you're able to pressure him, he kind of panics and just kind of throws it. So he's still a really good quarterback, don't get me wrong, but he's definitely not in the category with those in the great or the elite for sure. Kyler Murray, I think, is a good quarterback. I think he also has his ups and downs, but I think when you really look at the picture as a whole, he definitely fits in there with those guys that I would consider good quarterbacks. Daniel Jones is horrible. Jameis Winston is horrible. Will Levis is horrible. I mean, we could really run through these. Baker Mayfield, I'm going to tell you guys right now, Baker Mayfield is a great quarterback. He had a phenomenal season last year. Followed it up with his first year in Tampa, really good season. His second year in Tampa, great season. He really put this team on his back this year and did some really great things. In my opinion, Baker Mayfield, great quarterback. Geno Smith, again, good quarterback. Yeah, good quarterback. Sam Darnold, I guess we'll go with average. He did have some really good games this year, but when it mattered most, when everything was on the line, he had some stinkers, right? Let's be honest. CJ Stroud, again, fantastic rookie season. Came back his sophomore year. Wasn't that great, but also the situation around him, the offensive line. Bobby Slowick didn't call the best games, but I'm still pretty comfortable putting him in the great category. I am, right? And then Aaron Rodgers at this point in time, I think he had a better season than people gave him credit for. I really do. I think that, all the negative stigma around the Jets was sort of pushed the narrative that he had just like this awful season, but he really didn't. So I think I'm gonna put him in the good category, right? So there you have it. This is my category of or my tier rankings for quarterbacks. I guess heading into the 2025 season. Appreciate you guys watching. Peace.